course, a critical factor in deciding what to do is what the cost of it is. I mean, some things have to be done regardless of what the cost is if they're a life safety improvement. Others, it's a question of should we make the improvements because it's necessary to be conform, for instance, to code. For instance, we also get a survey done every year of the condition of our bleachers. And for the last several years, the school district has been told that every one of our bleachers is out of compliance with the current standards as far as steepness, and the two main reasons are steepness and the lack of handrails. That's everything from the old football stadium, that the home stands on the west side of the school, to the small bleachers we have in the swimming pool and all the gyms. So those are the kind of factors we're considering and going forward. And what we ask the architects to do, actually they kind of guide us because they have expertise on this, is to look at all the issues in three categories. One are capital improvements, the second are life safety, and the third are O&M. O&M stands for operation and maintenance improvements. We also asked them, and it's in the whole report, but the report, as you can see, it's this thick. We obviously can't go through it at the meeting tonight. But we also asked them to prioritize them, which was required for the life safety purposes of if it should be done in 1 year or less, 2 to 5, or 6 to 10 years. For the life safety, for the capital, in particular O&M, we asked them to look out whatever the life was. So if a roof was replaced recently, maybe it says it doesn't need maintenance for 20 years or 25 years. So they did look at both the priority of the work that needs to be done and the length of time that it, what's the right timeline in the schedule to have it done. So as you can see from the chart, about $3 million in capital improvements were listed, about $7.7 million in life safety, and about $3.5 million in operating and maintenance expense.
The areas that are highlighted in gray represent projects that, through discussions with the architect, the board, the facilities manager, myself, and other administrators, were put into the comprehensive facility assessment, but are things that are considered somewhat optional projects. They're not required by life safety or something that is past warranty or life expectancy. So on the bottom, you can see that there's about 3.7 of the 14 million are somewhat of optional projects, which would mean we have about $10.5 million of work.
I think one other thing that's worth noting too is Joel went through the whole list of all the improvements, and he was able to indicate for a substantial number of items, maybe not all the big ticket, not necessarily big ticket items, of over the next 10 years how much of that work could be accomplished for the normal kinds of work that his crew does. I don't remember, do you remember what the number was on that?
1.9 million.
So close to $2 million out of the total figure of the 14.2. Joel's told Kevin and the board that he believes that part of the work can probably be accomplished in the normal maintenance routine that we do on an annual basis. And the reason it's worth mentioning is we obviously get feedback and concern about how things would be paid for, are they necessary, and if one thing that we have to do as a board is decide which are absolutely necessary, which are the right thing to do, and how they need to be funded. And of course, I'm sure we've gotten comments already from the community. I'm sure we'll get more, but that's the kind of deliberation we're going to have to do in making our decision. John, do you want to say anything?
I just want to thank everyone for taking their evening to come out and provide us input, and also to get, I think, essential information. There's a lot of misinformation out there, going way back to 2005 when that major construction project was done. and what options were considered at that time. So I think one useful result of this meeting will be, getting the information out of what's possible in terms of what we can do for parking and what other options we potentially can consider, because we really are constrained. Kevin will go into more detail on that.